That's a weapon.
Yeah. All right, firing.
Light them all up.
Come on, fire.
Keep shooting.
Today, imperialism is on trial. The Progressive International has founded this tribunal inspired by the famous Russell-Sartre Tribunal, which was founded in 1966 to put on trial the most powerful country in the world, namely the United States, and to shed light on the atrocities and war crimes that happened in Vietnam. During that time, the Russell-Sartre Tribunal was composed of a jury which consisted of plenty intellectuals, philosophers, and activists from all around the world. Beside Bertrand Russell and Jean-Paul Sartre, of course, there was Isaac Deutscher, Günther Anders, Simone de Beauvoir, and many others. The witnesses even came from Vietnam. The first Russell Tribunal was supposed to be held in London or Paris, but because of the interference of CIA, it was declined, so they had to hold it in Stockholm and in Denmark. And even witnesses from Vietnam came and showed their wounds burned by napalm. Today, we are inaugurating something what we call the Belmarsh Tribunal. And we are inspired by the Russell-Sartre Tribunal, although there are some differences between these two tribunals. And there is, of course, a difference of half of a century between these tribunals, although many atrocities and war crimes happened in the meantime as well. One of the commonalities between these two tribunals is something what Jean-Paul Sartre told at his inaugural statement at the Russell Tribunal, which was held in Stockholm. He said, we are independent because we are weak, but our position is strong because we don't seek to send a few individuals to prison, but to reawaken the public opinion at this ominous moment of our history. Today, we are again in an ominous moment of our history. There is a pandemic ravaging outside of our flats, outside of our homes, if we have the luck to have homes. Climate crisis is also getting worse. The permanent threat of a nuclear war is also here. And the whole world is already going, it is just enough to look at the United States today, into civil wars. Why did we call this tribunal the Belmarsh Tribunal? Well, the answer is simple. We called it the Belmarsh Tribunal after the prison where one of the most courageous publishers and journalists of the 21st century is being held, namely Belmarsh in UK. Julian Assange is put on trial for revealing war crimes, while the real criminals are drinking champagne and celebrating the apocalypse. One difference between these two tribunals, between the Russell Tribunal and the just inaugurated Belmarsh Tribunal, is that we are not asking for witnesses. We are not calling witnesses who were victims of US or any other imperialism. Why? Again, the answer is very simple. Because WikiLeaks already revealed the crimes which were going on all across the world. It revealed the assassination of innocent civilians in Iraq and Afghanistan. It revealed the torture in Guantanamo. It revealed a massive surveillance program and system by the CIA. And these are the real and only reasons why Julian Assange is now at Belmarsh prison and why he is asked to come, not asked, but forced to come to the United States, where he would spend 175 years in prison together with terrorists and other criminals in complete solitary confinement. And to slowly prepare the floor for our jury members who are joining us today from all across the world, let me quote what Che Guevara said during the Vietnam War. He said, we need several Vietnams. And what did the US government say? The US government said, then we will crush Vietnam in the same way that we crashed you. Today, we have to say we need several Assanges. And if the US government says we will crush you in the same way that we crashed Chelsea Manning, Snowden, Julian Assange, and many others, we will say we will not stop. We will continue with the Belmarsh Tribunal, we will continue with the social support, and we will continue to reawaken public opinion in the absence of an international authority which can put the main imperial states, and not just the United States, on trial. Jean-Paul Sartre, at his inaugural statement during the Russell Tribunal said the following thing: when a peasant falls into the rice field, moved down by a machine gun, every one of us is hit. The Vietnamese fight for all men, and the American forces fight against all. I could paraphrase, and I think we should, the members of the jury of the Belmarsh Tribunal, paraphrase this quote by Sartre and say, when an Assange, when Edward Snowden, when Chelsea Manning is put into prison or into a cage and cannot return to their countries or to their families or to their friends, every one of us is hit. Julian Assange fights for all men, while the US government fights against everyone.